Hey, fellas. Welcome to the Southwest Titans Fantasy Football League Week 6 recap. And to start things off, I want to give an official congratulations to Ozark Mountain Daredevils for getting his first win of the season last week. I know it was a tight game with Tebow United, and I was talking about point adjustments, so I didn't give you full credit yet, but there were no adjustments. You won your first game of the season, so congratulations. I want to get that out of the way. But 6 weeks in, and we already have a three-peat stud of the week. Stud of the week, half the season so far. FAFO in Fuego is his new name. I'm trying to think of other nicknames. I thought of Triple M, Mighty Matt Morton. I thought I was talking with a celebrity friend is here visiting me today, Val Kilmer. Of course, he's known for many roles, but one of my favorites is Doc Holliday in Tombstone. Hey, Doc, have you seen FAFO? Do you have any idea where he is?
Down by the creek, walking on water.
That makes sense. Down by the creek, walking on water. Fantasy football Jesus. No, I better not say that. That's kind of sacrilegious, I guess. But anyway, he is tearing it up. Tearing it up. Also, largest margin of victory over Mighty Coon Dogs. 73 points, margin of victory. FAFO gets the win easily, 164 to 91. FAFO, I don't even know what to say anymore. He had 9 players in double figures, and he had a 10th player with over 9 points. Mighty Coon Dogs, again, just putting up 91. He had 2 players in double figures, and that's it. And also, it was his lowest score of the season. So, again, I don't. What can you say about it? There's just not much you can say. Just FAFO is just kicking butt, and improves to 6-0, stays at number 1. He is the first team to hit 900 or more points. Congratulations so far. Mighty Coon Dogs drops to 3-3 and is in 8th place now. So. Now, here's one that was a little bit tighter than that matchup. We go from the largest margin of victory to the smallest margin of victory. D's nuts over Paducah Fins by 0.26 points, 146.61 to 146.35. I know you guys probably get tired of hearing me say it, but on this case, even the slightest point adjustment in Paducah Fins' favor changes that outcome, and would give Paducah Fins his first win of the season. This was Paducah Fins' highest scoring game of the season, and 146 is pretty dang good, and to score that and lose that close is heartbreaking. Paducah Fins, on the losing side, had 8 players in double figures. And he got Cooper Kupp back this week, who put up 23 points for him. And he also had Shaheed on the bench with 18, which would have made a difference. But that happens to all of us. We've all had great performances sitting on our bench that may have made a difference in the outcome. And then, geez, nuts. And I've noticed, too, Adam Thielen, Carolina wide receiver now, is really doing well. He got him 17.5 points, and he started out kind of slow, but Thielen's been putting up 13, 17, 18, 20 points. Starting to be pretty consistent now with that. So, that could be a huge factor for these nuts going forward. Lamar Jackson, a subpar week, just under 18 points. Kansas City defense with 23, and then also getting on his individual defensive players, let's see, 25, 37. So I always figure the way I look at it is if you can get 40 plus from your individual defensive players, that's a huge positive. But D's Nuts improves to 4-2 and stays at number 4. Paduke Fins, for the moment, remains winless at 0-6 and is sitting at number 11. That takes us to the third highest scoring team of the week, who was not a big shocker, IH Braves, who's been there all season, one of the best scorers, and currently the second highest scoring team in the league. He gets the win over Marinos Mafia, 145-108. Let's see, IH Braves, he had 7 players in double figures, but he had 3 more with 9 or more points. And that was with Joe Burrow only getting 18 points. So he could have, if Joe Burrow would have put up a normal week, he would have been possibly in the running for stud of the week. But Marinos Mafia, again with 108, 4 players in double figures, not much on the bench either. Just hasn't been a great season for Old Mafia. So IH Braves improves to 5-1 and stays at number 2. Again, the second highest scoring team in the league. Marinos Mafia drops to 2-4 and sits at number 9. All right, joke time. This one's short. So this woman finds out her husband has been cheating on her for years with various women. And when she finds this out, she throws all of his crap out in the yard and tells him to get out and never come back. And as he's leaving, she says, "I hope you die a slow, painful death." And he looks at her and says, "So you want me to stay?" It's not as funny now that I've been single for years but it's still funny. It's still funny because I know a lot of you probably think that way. Maybe not. I'm just a horrible person. All right. Fourth highest scoring team. He's back. The Cowpokes gets the win over Hey Fellas. That's not how you say it. Hey Fellas! 141-102, and the Cowpokes again has a lot of eggs in the Cowboys' basket. It came through for him this week. I think he got like 50 points combined from Prescott, Lamb, and the Dallas defense. But correct me if I'm wrong, David, but didn't you pick up Harrison Butker off the waiver wire, the Chiefs kicker? Which I still can't believe he was on the waiver wire, and I'm jealous that I didn't see it first. But 17 points, and then getting, looks like 43 points combined from your individual defensive players, which is solid. And then over on Hey Fella's side, he had his lowest scoring week of the season. He had 2 guys on his bench. Justin Tucker and Cashman, of course, the kicker, and a defensive player that had 40 points, sitting on the bench, which could have made a little bit of a difference for him, but I don't think not enough to get the win. But one thing I did notice, and I'm horrible at keeping an eye on the waiver wires, who's dropping who, when. And I need to do a better job at that. But I may be wrong. I'm pretty sure D's Nuts drafted Dalton Schultz, of course, the tight end that went from the Cowboys to the Houston Texans. And if so, dropped him because his first 3 weeks of the season, Dalton Schultz had like 4.5 points combined. But now all of a sudden, this guy is putting up double digits pretty much every week. So I see that Hey Fellas has him on his team now. So that could be a big pick me up for him. So anyway, Cowpokes improves to 4-2 and stays at number 5. And hey, fellas, drops to 3-3, but still in striking range at number 7. Just the two of us versus Ozark Mountain Daredevils. Tua, again, loves to score in that 140-point range most of the time. This week actually scores just under 140, but gets the win against Ozark, who got his first win of the season last week, but it didn't last long. Tua gets the win 140-82. Oh, yeah. For Tua, it was his quarterback, Tua, leading the way. Amon St. Brown, Williams, the Rams running back. I mean, he had several guys chipping in there. And then Ozark, I mean, Justin Fields has not been awesome by any means, but he got hurt. And that didn't help at all. Got less than 4 points, and he's probably doubtful to play next week. P. Ryan, the Broncos running back, got a negative points, had 16 receiving yards and 1 lost fumble, and just didn't have any help from anyone. Las Vegas defense got him 16, and Zeke Elliott getting double digits, I think maybe for the first time this season. Yeah, by far. But anyway, yeah, it was a pretty big blowout for Tua. So Tua improves to 3-3 and into the top 6 at number 6. And Ozark Mountain Daredevils drops to 1-5 and is at number 10. And that brings us finally to the last matchup. Rides Rapids versus Tebow United. Not exactly the margin of victory I was hoping for, but Rides Rapids gets the win, 126 to, we'll say 122, 121 and a half. Nothing spectacular on either end, but it was Tebow United's highest scoring game of the season, but does fall just a little short. He had 17 players in double figures, led by and Trevor Lawrence, 18 points only. But then his second highest scoring player was Quincy Williams, the Jets linebacker that happened to end up on the waiver wire. You're welcome. I'll never get over that. But anyway, I was fortunate to get the win with, again, 126 points. Josh Allen got under 18, and that's the one where David and I were hanging out last Sunday, and may have been alcohol involved. I said, I bet you $100 Josh Allen scores 40 or more against the Giants. And we made the bet. But then David texted me the next day and was like, hey, want to change that bet? I was like, what bet? But we changed the bet. I said, how about just lunch? So anyway, I owe David a lunch. He's like, how many points did he didn't get to 40, did he? I was like, try 17.6. But again, it was my team defense and my individual defensive players that pulled through for me to help me get the win. So Rides Rapids improves to 5-1 and stays at number 3, the third highest scoring team in the league, I believe. And Tebow United remains winless and in last place. So. And also, too, I apologize, guys. I didn't get a preview video out last week, and I had every intention of doing it on Saturday, and I started messing around with watering my dang lawn. I had some aeration and seeding done, and was messing around with, I got a new sprinkler, and was messing around with adjusting that and getting all wet, and it was cold, and then I just forgot all about it, and didn't even think about it until Sunday morning. So anyway, I will get a preview video out one day this week. I'm not sure yet when it'll be, just whenever I get time and feeling all right. So have a great evening, fellas. See you in week 7.